Hi, so I'm Joanne and I'm a Paediatric Dietitian at Midland Health. So healthy lunchbox ideas. Again, it's a little bit dependent on your family and what sorts of things you like to eat. Ideally, you want kind of 3, possibly 4 main things. So a source of carbohydrate, a source of protein, some sort of fruit or vegetable, and a source of dairy to give them some calcium intake as well. What you choose within that is kind of entirely up to you. So kind of very typical options would be sandwiches, wraps, kind of those sorts of things, probably normally along with a protein-based filling like tuna, cheese, ham, egg, and then some fruits and vegetables on the side, maybe a yogurt as well. However, you can get completely creative because it can be really hard work making lunchboxes. So thinking of things like pasta dishes that can kind of either eat and be cold or hot. You could put a little thermos in a dish in kind of a packed lunchbox as well. And that means you can send your child to school with a warm meal. So noodles, soup, pasta dishes, rice-based dishes as well. Entirely up to you what goes in it. Packed lunches are my worst meal to have to prep. I really struggle with doing packed lunches. So make your life as easy as possible. Bulk make it and prep ahead wherever you can. So you can, in theory, make sandwiches in advance and freeze them, get them out in the morning and pop them in the packed lunchbox. It's then a great way to keep the rest of the contents cold and it will have defrosted by lunchtime. Exactly the same applies to yogurts as well. So things like the squeezy yogurts in tubes, they are great to go in the freezer. If they haven't fully defrosted by lunchtime, then your kid's just got an ice lolly that they can eat at lunch rather than a squeezy yogurt. So that goes down really well equally. And bulk chop kind of fruits and vegetables, so thinking carrot sticks, pepper sticks, cucumbers, tomatoes, prep them all in advance, have them in a Tupperware box kind of at the start of the week, and you can just load up the packed lunches as you go. Part of the assessment of coming to see me will be to take a thorough allergy-based history, so kind of understanding the symptoms in the run-up to needing this appointment and any family history, as well as looking at growth of the child. Then dependent on kind of the discussion and what the decision is made, we would then need to exclude that allergen from your child's diet. So we will go through kind of really practical and pragmatic tips on how to do so, but equally ensuring the rest of their diet still remains balanced so they're not missing out on any nutrition. We can then have a think about kind of in the longer term whether it is safe for your child to be re-challenged and have that food reintroduced. So just because your child has an initial diagnosis of an allergy, does that mean that label is stuck with them for the rest of their life? If you have any concerns about your child, whether it be things like reflux, constipation, abdominal pain, if you're just not sure, then go to your GP for advice, particularly if this is a change in symptoms. So if your child was never normally somebody that was sick or was never normally constipated and they have a sudden change with no obvious cause for that occurring, then I would definitely get them checked out. Going for a poo, there is a huge spectrum of what is normal, and so it can be really difficult to pinpoint what is outside of the normal, but definitely if there is a change to what seems to be your child's normal, I would get it checked out. Red flag symptoms from a poo point of view, if there is ever any blood in your child's poo, so if there is bright red fresh blood, or their poo becomes black or their poo becomes white, then definitely seek medical advice as well. So the teenage years are probably one of the most difficult because it's the time at which as a parent that you begin to lose control a little bit. Your teenager becomes much more independent, but they also have a huge amount of external influences. So based on what their friends are doing, what they're seeing on the TV and what they're seeing on social media, which has a huge influence at the moment on how our teenagers kind of choose to eat and the things that they choose to do. A couple of things that I think are really important is having good communication with your teenager. We want to kind of encourage body positivity, and this is kind of at all sizes. So from a healthy eating point of view, I think we have to be careful about the language that we're using. So eating healthily doesn't necessarily mean eating salads, eating lots of fruit, avoiding certain foods. But eating healthily is about eating the right things for your body, but also the kind of mental relationship that you have with food as well. Food to us as humans is so much more than just nutrition. It's sociable, it's emotional, it's cultural. We eat for celebrations, we eat for traditional reasons. And actually it's really important that we have a positive relationship with food for all those sorts of reasons and not just nutrition. So if you have any concerns around your child and their eating, their nutrition, their growth, then please do not hesitate to get in touch with Midland Health and I'd be more than happy to see you.